All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into an absolute masterclass on the ultimate rules for escaping poverty and building generational wealth. We're going to break down the exact strategies that the top 1% use to manage their money, leverage their time, and honestly, most importantly, keep their wealth once they've actually built it. So if you've ever felt like you're just working incredibly hard but not really getting ahead financially, well, you're in the exact right place.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. Mindset, employee versus owner. 2. Escaping the poverty traps. 3. The 25-15-50-10 wealth blueprint. 4. The magic of compound interest. 5. Leveraging time and opportunities. And 6. Rule number 1, staying rich.
Section 1. Mindset, employee versus owner. To kick things off, let's look at the foundational mindset shift required to even begin this journey, because literally 0% of the world's richest 1% are merely salaried employees.
So why do the poor get poor? It's the ultimate question, isn't it? And the answer actually lies not in how hard you work, but in how you think about your time. Think about your own schedule right now. Most of us are taught to just work harder. If you want more money, you put in 12 hours instead of 8, or you grind through the weekend. But there's a hard, inescapable mathematical limit to that approach. You only have 24 hours in a day, and this perfectly illustrates the difference. An employee trades their limited time for money, while an owner leverages the time of others to multiply their income exponentially. Think about it. Instead of trying to somehow squeeze 16 hours of work out of themselves, an owner hires 10 people for 8 hours a day, instantly generating 80 hours of productivity in a single day. That right there is the fundamental gap between those who struggle and those who scale.
Moving on to Section 2, escaping the poverty traps. Now, before we even talk about building wealth, we've got to navigate the minefield of traps designed to keep you broke.
Because honestly, it doesn't matter how much money you make if you're pouring it into a leaky bucket. Things like financial illiteracy, taking on debt just for vacations, FOMO, addictions, or having zero emergency fund, these are the absolute quickest ways to lose everything. Just look at Michael Carroll. The guy blew a £9.7 million lottery win on addictions and was literally back to collecting waste by 2010. Or consider the trap of FOMO. How many people threw their life savings into trendy assets they totally didn't understand, only to lose it all when the hype just completely died down? And shockingly, nearly 45% of parents actually admit to going into debt just to take their kids on expensive theme park vacations. It's wild.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding affordability. Look, just because you can buy something technically doesn't mean you can actually afford it. It's a lot like Shah Rukh Khan choosing not to buy a 400 crore private jet despite his massive net worth. A lot of middle-class earners will lock themselves into these heavy monthly payments for a brand new phone or a luxury car simply because the bank approved them. Shah Rukh Khan, on the other hand, knows that spending a massive chunk of his net worth on a depreciating liability like a jet completely limits his ability to invest in assets that actually grow his wealth.
Sun Tzu hit the nail on the head when he said, "Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win." Avoiding these financial traps absolutely requires a plan, a budget, because entering the financial battlefield without one practically guarantees defeat. You have to tell your money where to go before the month even begins, rather than just scratching your head wondering where it went when the month ends.
All right, Section 3, the 25-15-50-10 wealth blueprint. Let's look at the solution and see how this builds into a concrete mathematical formula.
This is Mark Tilbury's famous rule, and it basically takes all the guesswork out of wealth creation. Notice how it allocates every single dollar. We've got 25% to make you rich, 15% to keep you safe, 50% to keep you alive, and 10% to keep you sane. It really is a completely balanced ecosystem for your finances.
Now that first 25% must go into growth assets. This way, while you are out working, your money is in the background working for you. This isn't just money sitting around in some zero-interest checking account. No, this is money actively deployed into the market. We're talking S&P 500 index funds, real estate, or even investing in a course to learn a high-income skill like coding or copywriting.
And to ensure your essentials actually stay under that 50% limit, you really need to bypass your own willpower. You can do this by using a strict 7-day system to fight off lifestyle creep. It's incredibly easy to trick yourself into thinking luxuries are essentials. But by forcing yourself to wait a full week before buying something, that emotional dopamine rush fades and logic takes over. Seriously, ask yourself, are you buying for brand or value? Will it truly improve your life? You'd be amazed at how many things in your online shopping cart graveyard you completely forget you even wanted after just 7 days.
Section 4. The magic of compound interest. Once your money is allocated correctly, you unlock the hidden cheat code of the wealthy.
Compound interest is where your wealth stops growing in a straight line and starts curving aggressively upward. This chart proves exactly why starting early is everything. Look at Ram. He invested the least amount per month but started at age 20, and he absolutely crushed the others by the time retirement hit. Even if you invest far larger sums later in life, like Ghanshyam did at age 40, you simply cannot beat the mathematical advantage of time.
Let's put that into perspective with another example. By simply investing just $200 a month, starting at age 20, Billy ends up with this staggering sum, over $1.2 million. That is nearly $600,000 more than someone who started just 10 years later, even if they started with more money. It truly is the eighth wonder of the world. Your money makes money, and then that new money starts making its own money. It's this unstoppable snowball if you just give it enough runway.
Section 5. Leveraging time and opportunities. Okay, so you have the math down, but how do you actually accelerate the process and truly separate yourself from the pack? You have to learn how to spot leverage in your everyday life. As Mark Tilbury famously puts it, if you don't own something, you are what's owned. You absolutely must become an owner, which means actively looking for opportunities to leverage time and money. Whether it's owning a business, owning real estate, or owning a high-value skill, ownership is the defining characteristic of the 1%.
Take Nishkar Sharma's college hustle as a perfect example of the skip-the-line strategy. Instead of just pinning up flyers for tutoring and hoping for the best, he contacted an agency to instantly get clients, completely skipping the long line of competition. And later on, he applied that exact same mindset online. Rather than competing as a brand new freelancer on super crowded platforms, he figured out how to bypass the slow grind and offer scalable services immediately. Basically, he didn't just offer a service, he built an agency. He became the distributor, not just the worker.
And when crises happen, owners look for opportunities. Just like Warren Buffett, who confidently bought 20% of American Express during a massive 1963 scandal while everyone else was running for the hills. The stock price totally tanked because of a fraud scandal involving fake salad oil. Yeah, salad oil, but Buffett realized the core business of the bank was actually completely fine. While the masses panicked and pulled out their money, he used their panic as his own personal discount counter.
Section 6. Rule number 1. Staying rich. Getting rich is an incredible feat, but our final section is about the ultimate rule, which is keeping it.
Because honestly, wealth isn't just about what you make, it's entirely about what you manage to keep. This tale of two oil-rich nations perfectly proves that sudden wealth means absolutely nothing if you don't save and invest it for the future. Both Norway and Venezuela struck black gold. Norway invested the profits into a sovereign wealth fund, creating incredible long-term economic security. Venezuela, on the other hand, spent it all on immediate subsidies, leading to a catastrophic economic collapse when oil prices shifted.
So, to stay rich, you must have a backup plan, like securing term insurance, maintaining a 5-month stability fund, and whatever you do, never copy the 1% lifestyle. Remember, the Ambanis spending 5,000 crores on a wedding is literally less than 1% of their net worth, so please don't go into debt trying to copy them. You see people all the time financing lavish weddings or buying designer clothes just to look wealthy, and they're fundamentally destroying their actual wealth in the process. Build that stability fund, protect your family with insurance, and keep investing consistently with your ego entirely out of the picture.
So I want you to look at your daily habits and ask yourself the ultimate question. Are you building wealth for your own future, or are you just funding someone else's today? The blueprint is right there in your hands. Thanks for hanging out for this